The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.
Brought to you by Walter Stewart's Market, Carl Chevrolet, Coastal Orthopedics, and Motors, and Bankwell. Mike, you know, I think the Tigers are a team that have a lot of potential in them, but of course, the Blue Wave have been just outstanding big machines. Now, the Tigers come in at 3-4. I think that's a record that kind of belies how good they can be, while Darien, on the other hand, a perfect 7-0.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's still relatively early in the season. It's still time for Ridgefield to turn everything around, and there's still time for somebody to pick Darien off.
We're meeting the starting lineups here at Tiger Hollow, coached by Mo Minikis, the Darien Blue Wave, with Kaylee Marl in goal. They'll have Marissa Baker, Georgia Cassidy, Campbell Mathias, Megan Waldron, Kendall Wazinski, along with Abigail Hancock, Emily Giannunzio, Laura Schwartzman, Katie Elders, and Kathleen Tropsa playing for the Blue Wave. On the other side for the Tigers, it's Kimmy Weinstock with Katie Petersy, Margot Racy, Sarah Wilson, Elizabeth Kaiser, Natalie Silver, Haley Guerra, Claire Watzik, Julia Watson, Aniko Brito, and Rebecca Silver, the starters for both teams. And they are being introduced on the field right now.
Sophomore goalkeeper, Ellie Kaiser. Number 8, sophomore defender, Natalie Silver. Number 10, junior defender, Haley Guerra. Number 14, senior forward, Claire Watson. Number 15, sophomore forward, Julia Wilson. Number 24, junior forward, Anika Brito. Finally, number 25, senior captain, midfielder, Rebecca Silver.
And there you go, the introductions of the starting lineups, and a nice afternoon for some field hockey. So you've met the players, and all you need to do is get this one underway. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back to Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow right after this. It's field hockey on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Welcome back to Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow with Mike Suppy. I'm Rob Adams, and almost time to get this one going between the Tigers and the Darien Blue Wave. Mike, the first thing that jumps out at me is, we sit very high up at Lancaster Field, and Carl Charles, the athletic director, so kind to let us come sit upstairs today, but it's a long way to the field, so the number's a little bit of a squint for me.
Yeah, especially the orange ones here on Ridgefield.
Might have to be digging out the binoculars eventually, but nonetheless.
We have some extreme close-ups from the camera I'm shooting on over here too. Help me identify.
See, that's an advantage to you, but we'll see what we can work out. No big deal. So beautiful afternoon. The temperatures have warmed up a bit, although as the shadows begin to come across, it will get obviously much, much chillier here. Temperatures are supposed to drop into the 40s by the end of the day.
Definitely a little more brisk than last week's game we covered on Monday.
Oh, for sure. I will get you a weather check as soon as we are all set with that.
All right, people, here we go. Have a good game.
The Blue Wave are standing on the field. The Tigers have yet to emerge.
Here they come.
Tigers decked out in the white with the orange and black, with the exception of goalkeeper Ellie Kaiser. That's a mix of some neon green and royal blue there.
It's a Seattle Seahawk mix there.
Definitely is. Well, on the other side, it's certainly Blue Wave colors for Kaylee Marl. And away we go. Ridgefield starts it, and then Darien takes it. They'll move from right to left. So underway. Down the right side it goes. They'll try to feed it across. Of course, we've explained to you before, we hear about 1,000 different whistles. Some of them could be related to the field hockey game. Some of them could be related to the football practice off to our right. So, and no point in trying to explain the whistles in field hockey. I just am, there's so many of them, nobody fights them anyway.
Yeah, we're just going to have to use our best judgment.
65 degrees as we get started. Comes back out of the shooting circle to the near side. Blue Wave have it. They are a perfect 7-0 on the year.
Methodical setup here by the Blue Wave.
Trying to roll it through. Along come the Tigers, and it'll be sent back the other way.
Darien picks it up off the restart here.
Just about 90 seconds gone by, and we have no score. Down the right side it comes, but it'll be taken back by the Blue Wave, and that is their number 7, Megan Waldron, the junior. So they'll start back from right to left. Katie Elders, she grabs it along the near side, swings it forward, had it toward Georgia Cassidy, and the whistle will stop things. Just about 2 minutes gone in the first half, no score. Cassidy works it ahead. Far side for Marissa Baker. Baker will go over. She'll grab it there, just about 20 yards out. Grabs it again, sends it forward. Blast coming down into the circle from Kendall Wazinski, the sophomore. Still no score. 2.5 gone in the first half. Again, I hear so many different whistles, but that's actually coming from the football game. Or football, I should say, football practice going on the auxiliary, or what they call, I guess they call that Lancaster Field 2. Tiger Hollow 2, whatever it is. It's a great field. Both of these fields are terrific.
Quite a facility.
It really is. Elders near side. And it'll be spun back the other way for the Tigers in a scoreless match. Just underway. Campbell Mathias on the near side. Rolls it ahead now. The Tigers have got it. They move from left to right. That was Anika Brito wearing number 24 for the Tigers.
See if Ridgefield can get a little bit of some offensive pressure built up here.
Rebecca Silver near side. A little bit of a different style of number on their jerseys for the Tigers. They use almost an italicized, sharper edged font.
It's like Old English.
Katie Petersy brings it in. It rolls right along parallel to the football end zone line. And Darien will take it back their way. They move from right to left in the black and the blue. Just about 4 minutes gone. First half, no score. On a day like this, I'd sign for the role of just being the person who puts the ball on the sideline. That's not a bad gig today. It's a nice enough day.
Yeah, definitely.
Roll another ball right back in. From right to left go the Blue Wave. There really is some look for Ellie Kaiser, that combination, that contrast of colors. As you said, the Seahawks.
There's no doubt that nobody's going to misrecognize her with that getup. But that's the key, is the goal. You want to, stand out from the field players aside from all the padding.
And the ball was loose right off to her right, her perspective. So now it'll be set back up by the Blue Wave, Megan Waldron wearing number 7. Rolls it ahead. Now the Tigers. They'll grab it with Haley Guerra. Down that far right sideline. Just try to poke it ahead are the Blue Wave with Claire Watzik. She's a senior. No score, 5 and change gone first half.
Again, very deliberate setup from the Blue Wave. Taking their time here.
Ball loose, kicked off to the side by Kaiser. Actually the kind of day where a mix of clothing is in play. I see someone out there in a scarf, others wearing some heavier jackets, and still a few more might even try shorts today. That kind of day.
Yeah, you got the whole gamut here. Bubble jackets and shorts.
Yeah. Up here it's comfy cozy, so I opted for the short sleeves. Then again, I'm conducting heat in, the middle of February. So the Blue Wave have got it in the circle. Now to come back out to the near side. No score. Just about 7 minutes gone first half. Rolling off to the near side. Kicked back out in front. And we stay at no score.
Be another corner here for Darien.
So they'll grab it out of the corner. Send it to the top of the circle. Waiting there was Georgia Cassidy. She got taken off the play. And it'll be Tiger ball. Moving from left to right. Able to corral it. Gets batted over to the near side. Knocked away from Petersy. So it'll be left behind by Tropsa of the Blue Wave. And right as Campbell Mathias went to bring it in, we get a whistle and things stop right there. 8 minutes gone in the first half. Mike, we have no score.
Yeah, and you know, Ridgefield doing a good job defending all of the Blue Wave advances so far.
Ridgefield coached by Colleen Cannon. Her assistant is Judy Silver. I believe it was Judy Silver we talked to during the FCAC tour when Handemonium was taking place here. Hashtag Handemonium. On the hashtag FCAC Cruiser or HAN Cruiser, sorry. It was a lot of work, but looking back on it, it was also one heck of an achievement for our crew. 16 of 17 schools. We visited all 17, but interviews at 16 of them. Nearly 200 interviews altogether, totaling almost 400 athletes and coaches and administrators and band members. And I'm trying to remember who else.
There was a lot of people.
There were a lot of people. And it was, you know, it's quite an achievement and something we will do again as we get to the winter season, I'm quite sure. Those schedules only a few days away from coming out, believe it or not.
It goes fast once it gets started.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, you could easily say, well, how dare you already be thinking about winter? But the fact of the matter is you got to start filling up your dance card.
Yeah, winter, the longest calendar season of the year sports-wise from my quick calculations. I think it lasts the longest out of all the 3 seasons.
Well, essentially, the fall season goes from give or take the first or second week of September until right around Thanksgiving. It'll be brought in on the near side by Campbell Mathias. She rolls it in. Had it bounce away from Megan Waldron back into the Blue Wave zone. Now over to the near side that'll roll out. Where by, you know, just a few days later, as soon as the fall championships are over, and they're over second week of December, you're right into playing the winter season. As it goes into the shooting circle for the Tigers. Just about 9 minutes gone in the first half. Still no score, so a penalty corner coming up here for Ridgefield. So they will set up shop. Natalie Silver will set things up. Rolls it in. Nearly stolen away. Now grabbed by the Blue Wave. Laura Schwartzman able to turn it back the other way. Nice play by her.
Well defended by the Blue Wave there.
Schwartzman, a senior. 9 and change gone. First half, no score. So essentially from normally about December 10th or so, you do from there until by the time the championships are over, you're a little past St. Patrick's Day. So give or take, you're talking about March 21st. And then all of a sudden, you're spinning right back into the spring season.
Which they compress into about 6 weeks.
Yeah, the spring season is by far the shortest because you play your first game, again, right around, say, April 11th, and the next thing you know, Memorial Day, you're heading into the state playoffs.
The bane of every high school baseball coach's existence. The rainouts and the compressed schedules.
Oh, yeah. Not as big a problem for the lacrosse coaches, but, boy, for the baseball and softball folks, it's a nightmare. And we had good weather back in the spring, fortunately. It is still amazing to me that we only had 1 rain out, as I recall, from our spring season. 2, I think, in the end. Of course, we had some craziness during the FCAC playoffs. Rolled forward into the Ridgefield zone. No score. Coming up on the 10.5 mark of the first half. This rolls out to Mo Minikis in the Darien bench. Now over to the near side, played by Matthias. She plays it ahead. Turned over right at the line for Katie Petersy. Tigers will stay on the attack down the near side. Outside those football numbers, it's Petersy stepping inside, boots it across, looking for a tip in. And instead, it's going to go back the other way.
Tigers starting to put together some offensive pressure here.
An early Tiger goal would do them a lot of good, I feel, in this game.
Could certainly swing the momentum.
Well, if the Blue Wave get on top, it just allows a little bit of doubt to creep in. Bounces into the circle. Snagged by Waldron of the Blue Wave. She bats it from right to left. Still no score. 11.5 gone, first half. Sliced around, and another whistle. 3 games on the docket this week. This being the first of the 3 for us. The penalty corner coming up here. Tomorrow, boys soccer. As the HAN network travels to Stamford. And the city that works will host us. The Greenwich Cardinals taking on the Stamford Black Knights. 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Off the corner. Big blast, gets pushed aside.
Big save there by Morrill. Stacked the pads right up.
At the same time, good pressure by Ridgefield. And again, just putting a little doubt there in the minds of the Blue Wave that they can stay in this game.
So far, so good for the Tigers.
And they're right there. But it gets pooched over to the near side. Still no score. Just about 13 minutes gone in the first half. And this one of the, there are some schools that just can't be too kind to us. They're just great to us here in Ridgefield. And certainly thank them as always. Their kindness is just, some schools really are just a joy to work with. At the other end, batted around, comes over to the near side. It got away. Still no score.
Blue Wave did a good job of transitioning from defense to offense there in a split second, it seemed like.
Mike on a camera. I want to recognize him, as well as Eric Gendron and Tim Murphy, both on cameras. Check out the tweets from Josh Fisher. Playing through the pain is Josh, dealing with a little bit of a not feeling so great today, and there's something going around.
I know spending 10 hours out in the rain on Friday probably didn't do him any wonders.
No, probably didn't do you any wonders either. I know you were at a game as well.
Yeah, it was a wet and wild one.
Yeah. That's the thing, and believe me, I'm proud of what we were able to accomplish Friday, and John Kovac and AJ Simonowski took more of the rain, much more, but folks often think we live the life of luxury when, say, Chris Kalin and I are in a booth, but you know what? That rain was coming in sideways right on us as well. We had the window open. It was pretty cold, but, no complaints. It was fun. We had a good time at Staples the other night. Thanks to everybody there.
Man, some FCAC football actually taking place today.
That's right.
You don't see it very often, the Monday game. One little Monday night football.
Yeah, West Hill and New Canaan playing at Dunning Field. That's a 5:30 kickoff.
West Coast start.
That's a good 2:30 time for the West Coast audience. What is Monday Night Football tonight? I totally forgot to look.
I believe it's the Seahawks and the Lions, but don't quote me on that.
You might be right. I don't think either one of them played yesterday. Still no score here as we hit the midway mark of the first half. Rolls down into the circle. We'll get a penalty corner coming up. Ridgefield and Darien in a scoreless match. So in it comes, setting up through traffic, batted aside. That's Ellie Kaiser making that nice save. Laura Schwartzman from the corner. And they'll set things up all over again.
Kaiser just swatted it away like a fly there.
She did. So off the inbound, Tropsa brought it in.
Like the Karate Kid.
14 minutes to go in the first half. Still no score. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the rest of the crew. I know Tracy Iazi's right behind us. I always mention AJ, so gave him props. If I'm missing anyone, AJ, you can shoot me at halftime. Lifted down, and the Blue Wave will take it. They'll reset with Waldron. Waldron near side. Tried to work it ahead. It rolls through. Patient waiting there was Isabella Howe for the Blue Wave. And they'll roll it across to the far side. Push down that far side. Courtney Lowe there for the Blue Wave wearing number 10. Nice little give and go action, but turned right back over and taken by the Tigers. And that blast sent down by Natalie Silver. I mean, she played that thing like a 4-iron.
Yeah, really just punched it out of there.
Yeah.
My 4-iron shots don't get very much air underneath them either.
That's why I said it. That's what my 4-iron is like. Kick save made by Ellie Kaiser off to the left side. If Chris Irway is listening, he's saying your irons, your woods, doesn't matter, Rob. They're all terrible.
Hey, it doesn't have to go high in the air if it goes close to the pin.
Chris and I are supposed to be playing golf next week, in fact. Off to the near side and pushed just wide. 12:05 to go in the first half, no score. Here come the Tigers. They'll look to reset. Getting left behind. Sent through. Now back out of the circle. Petersy will grab it. So here they come. Dribbling are the Tigers. Petersy was there. Now the Blue Wave. They're in the blue and black in a scoreless game. Isabella Howe rolls it forward. Howe grabs it right back. Blue Wave perfect on the season. That went just wide of the net, but of course from well out of the shooting circle. Again, just another blast down that near side. I want to see her play golf at this point. Because Natalie Silver looks very comfortable.
Definitely has the punch shot down.
Yeah. Megan Waldron for the Blue Wave. Waldron will grab it off the whistle. All right, football practice has stopped for a moment, so the only whistles on this field belong to the field hockey game.
A noticeable lack of whistles. I just recognized that myself.
Yeah. 10:30 to go, first half.
I feel like I did hear a lawnmower engine, though I don't see very much grass over here.
Wasn't even so much a lawnmower engine. I think it was one of those John Deere Gators that they roll around.
Ah, there we go. The mystery is solved.
Yeah. These facilities, especially when you're traveling so far and wide, you need some of those kinds of carts to move things around. We had great help last week at Fairfield Ward, where they were driving us around in some of those very same types of vehicles.
I think Tiger Hollow might need like a chairlift, like a ski resort type thing.
That's great.
Take it right from the school right down here.
It is a long walk from the regular parking lot.
Where I mistakenly parked.
Oh, you did park up near the school?
I'm all the way up there.
Yeah. I have to admit, and again, as it's loose out in front, let's settle down here for a moment. Good job by Ridgefield to push it off to the near side. they'll reset all over again. The Blue Wave staying feisty, and it'll be worked out of bounds by the Tigers. But they have always been very thoughtful here at Tiger Hollow to, let folks like me and certainly some of the others on the crew park a little closer to the stadium. But generally speaking, you come down into this area, it's mostly handicap parking and stadium crew. Bounced into the shooting circle. It'll go off to the left side of Ellie Kaiser. 9:02 to go. Clock running first half. No score here on the HAN network.
Another timeout, I believe.
Yep. We mentioned not only field hockey today, soccer tomorrow, football Friday. We'll tell you more as we move throughout the game. But a timeout on the field with 8:57 to go in the first half. No score, Ridgefield and Darien. You're watching field hockey, the FCAC on the HAN network.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Back in Ridgefield with Mike Suppy, I'm Rob Adams. 8:57 to go first half, no score. Pretty good one so far between Ridgefield and Darien, Mike.
Yeah, good back and forth play from both teams.
Off the timeout, the Tigers come back onto the field. They're decked out in the white with the orange numbers outlined in black. The Blue Wave wear those black jerseys with the royal blue numbers with the white drop shadow. Tim Murphy on a camera today, as I mentioned. We'll miss Murph tomorrow for soccer. He won't be able to join us for Greenwich and Stamford near Boyle Stadium, but we'll get Murph back on for some soccer. It's been fun working some soccer games with him, but Murph, of course, sports editor in Ridgefield as well as in Wilton. And you can read Mike in a whole number of places.
I'm everywhere.
You
Omniscient.
are. You are. Omnipresent. Well, Monroe, certainly.
Oh,
What
yeah.
else?
Oh, I do. The FCX site.
Yep.
Occasionally the Fairfield Sun, Trumbull Times, and then, some non-FCX towns as well,
Right.
including Shelton, the Valley, the Connecticut River Valley.
Yep. Sent to the far side. Set up in the circle. Trying to set up that backhand shot. Now bounced around. It's loose. Trouble there. But good job by Kaiser and the defense for Ridgefield. And the Tigers able to fight it off. So they'll start things over again. Far side.
Tropsa had a good chance there on the doorstep, but the Ridgefield defense banded together to get it out.
Ball loose, however, the whistle. Of course, this being field hockey, you're not going to get the amount of fans that you get for a football game. You don't need to necessarily use the visiting bleacher on the far side, although you'd be in the sunlight, which I would imagine would be kind of nice today. Off the penalty corner, though. So the Blue Wave fans are sitting right down below us as well. And again, the Tigers able to fight off the corner. Rolled over near side for Campbell Mathias. Got rolled back in. Under 7 to go, first half, no score. So they'll set it up outside of the circle with Georgia Cassidy. Cassidy sends it through traffic. It'll go left of the net.
Not a bad effort
from our
there.
perspective. Go ahead, Mike.
No, it was a good, almost caught everyone by surprise there that she let it go from the top of the shooting circle there.
Brought back over to the near side by Ridgefield. That's Rebecca Silver. Coming down to 6 minutes to play in the first half. Lifted and sent back by Katie Elders. Katie Elders was one of the nominees for FCAC Player of the Week last week in the HAN Network FCAC Athlete of the Week, the poll that we run. And of course, as it is a poll that is voted on by you, the general public, you got to get out the vote. Certainly in Ridgefield, they did that for the Male Athlete of the Week. So something to keep in mind as it rolls all the way down to our right, staying outside the numbers. And unable to catch up with it was Julia Wilson. Rolled through traffic. Back out of the circle it comes. Tigers staying aggressive, but it'll go the other way.
Rolling ball there. It was almost anyone's chance there.
Still no score with 5 minutes to go in the first half. Abigail Hancock will begin things for Darien. Turns it back over. Hancock will go back and grab it. Off to the far side. Rolled ahead. Back out near midfield. 4.5 to go before the break. So Ridgefield will now take it and bring it in. Bounce through traffic and turn back around the other way. Cassidy rolls it down. Tigers grab it. They'll send it far. And it goes over to the Darien bench. Tigers will again grab it. Kimmy Weinstock brought it in. Kimmy Weinstock from the FCAC Tour, I will always remember her as having one of the better nicknames, if not the best nickname of our entire tour. Yes, indeed, Kimbo Slice. And I've been waiting how long to make that mention. Off to the near side. 3.5 to go first half, no score. Turning around to the Blue Wave. They get it down into the shooting circle. Tigers able to punch it back out. Excitement for those who come to Tiger Hollow continues to build for the tall edifice, if you will, down to the far right beyond the stadium, off in those trees. That, and we don't have a camera on it, but that is a cell phone tower. And I can't wait. Just purely from the perspective that if you're driving Route 116 or North Salem Road, which is the main drag just behind the very front of Ridgefield High School, so out to the front of the high school, you go into a cell phone service area of truly dead zones heading off into New York. Near side, Katie Elders. But from a perspective of being able to tweet and do things with smartphones and all that so many reporters want and need to do in this day and age, just makes the job a lot easier. 2:20 to go first half. I know that's a big part of what you do when you're at a game.
Oh yeah, it's I've been stuck in some dead zones myself.
Mike's a good follow on Twitter. Follow along, and certainly when he's at a game.
I'm certainly at quite a few of them.
On occasion, he will bring you pearls of wisdom and life, which is good
Those
stuff.
are few and far between.
Yeah, you don't do enough of those. As it goes off to the left side of Ellie Kaiser. At the other end, Kaylee Morrill hasn't had to do a whole lot. She's made a couple of nice saves, but I feel like if you're going to give an edge, I feel like Darien's defense has been better, but Kaiser's been the better goalie as it comes off near side.
Speaking of which, she just made another nice
right
save.
On the money. 1:29 to go first half, no score.
I think a goal heading into the half for either team would be huge momentum-wise.
I agree. Darien brings it to the near side. Campbell Mathias sends it through. Georgia Cassidy just outside the circle with 1 minute to go in the first half. Ridgefield able to grab it, trying for the clear all the way out to midfield, but there are 3 Blue Wave waiting to take it over. Now the Tigers snag it right back. Outside the numbers and through traffic. Taken again, Megan Waldron. She's able to roll it down. Katie Elders, dangerous player. The freshman can play a very good form of field hockey. Near side, half minute to go. No score. Tigers looking for a final rush, but it nearly got blocked by Mathias. Down to 25 to go in a scoreless first half. It'll stay with Ridgefield.
Chance for one last push here for the Tigers.
Katie Petersy.
Don't think that was what she intended to do there.
Nope, that was not the intention.
It's like a backwards pass.
Yeah, she lifted it. Down to 5 as it sits right out at midfield. Here's a blast through traffic with 2 and 1. The kick save, it won't matter, and the first half comes to an end. And we sit scoreless.
Well, if you're Ridgefield, you gotta like where you're at here. You're still in the game at halftime with a chance to maybe steal one here.
Good stuff after the end of the first half. Very impressive so far. We'll see what the two teams have in store for us as we get to the second half. We will pause here at Ridgefield High School and continue on with no score. Ridgefield and Darien. Good game so far. We'll see what the second half has in store for us. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Does buying a car leave you feeling like you're chasing your tail? Head straight to Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and take car buying in a whole new direction.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com. Kycote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kycote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kycote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation Landmark.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Second half getting ready to get underway here at Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow. With Mike Suppy, AJ Simonowski, Eric Gendron, Tracy Iazi, Tim Murphy, Josh Fisher, Marty Hersom, hanging around somewhere. I'm Rob Adams. No score between the Ridgefield Tigers and the Darien Blue Wave. And somebody's got to find some offense in the second half of this game, Mike.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, this could be another game where you see the first goal might be the winner here.
So teams back out on the field. As Ridgefield had won the opening toss, it'll be Darien to start things here in the second half. As the Blue Wave bring it near side. Nice lift down the near side, but taken right back by the Tigers and Sarah Wilson, the senior. Over to the near side, Marissa Baker. We haven't called Baker's name a whole lot. Did your rosters get taken away on you?
I believe so. That's all right. I'll try to remember best I can.
Jeez. I don't think A.J. Simonowski's eating them. Where the heck did they? Wow. Anyway.
Guess I'll have to invest in a pair of Google glasses so I can have it all
Exactly.
done.
Georgia Cassidy with the backhander there and off to the right side. So best performance we've seen so far, and then the kick save made by Kaiser. Kaiser's been terrific, but certainly some of the best play we've seen from the Blue Wave so far.
Certainly, and you know, Kaiser maybe getting herself on an FCAC Player of the Week nomination here on this Monday.
Good stuff so far. No score. Early second half. Well, breaking sports news that hit a few hours ago. The announcement that CeCe Sabathia of the Yankees heading into rehab. That came out just around 2 o'clock today. So.
Sorry for that sound effect there. There was a spider crawling on the lens if anybody saw that.
I don't know if AJ had that shot picked up, but near side it goes. Kendall Rosinski. We've seen things like that, of course, as it bounces through, sent down on net, and instead it's going to go back the other way.
I could have just played it off as it was a gust of wind, but the remnants of Hurricane Joaquin.
Of course, which did not happen, at least here on the East Coast. We were preparing for it. Last night would have been the night, but the storm changed its course, and very fortunately. But as we said during coffee break, certainly some crazy times down in South Carolina for sure, and send our best down to everybody in Charlotte. Charleston, Charleston as well as Columbia got hit really hard. Here we have no score and almost 3 minutes gone in the second half. As it bounces along, the Blue Wave take it. That was Cassidy. Rolling down and trying to set it up for Baker. Now Elders goes over into that far corner, and instead it gets swatted aside by the Tigers.
You have to think the longer this game stays tied, probably better for Ridgefield, because you think that, you know, the Blue Wave might start to press a little bit.
Hope you enjoyed Nutmeg Sports earlier today, Donald Eng and I. 2 o'clock, Monday through Wednesday. Push through traffic it goes. Waiting there is Cassidy. Then it goes to the side and they score. First goal of the afternoon, and it's the Blue Wave to break through 1-0.
And they stayed after the loose ball there in the circle and were able to knock one there past Kaiser.
Things happen so fast, and when there's a scrum, always hard to see. But it sounds like Kathleen Tropsa, number 23, on the goal to make it 1-0.
Yeah, she just, you know, knocked it through the 5-hole there.
And that's all she needed to do.
Now the question is, if can Ridgefield respond?
Always the big question.
We'll have a chance here.
1-0 Blue Wave. As we play here in the second half. Rolling along the near side as sunlight begins to fade away from Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow.
And the corresponding temperature drop, which I'm starting to feel now.
Absolutely. Rolling to the far side it goes. Sent through traffic, and the kick save made by Kaylee Morrill. Just about 5 gone second half. Again, we haven't seen Morrill have to do a whole lot. Defense has been excellent for the Blue Wave.
She hasn't been called upon as much as her counterpart so far.
So Tropsa the goal, from what we're told. AJ had the best view as he looked at the monitors.
You could always give the John Sterling excuse. We don't have a monitor up here.
We do have a monitor, just didn't have the room to set it up today. As Ridgefield will go for the penalty corner to the near side. Space is not always at a premium in every box. Off the inbound. Off the penalty corner. To the far side. Sent through traffic, looking for something out in front. Couple of tries there. Scrum for it, off to the left side, and they turn it right back the other way. There were a few chances there for the Tigers, but they couldn't convert.
Certainly, and, you know, Darien was able to keep it, you know, just do enough to keep him out of there.
From girls swimming and diving, I noticed that Darien is up 64-62 on Greenwich. Bounced past Kimbo Slice, Kimmy Weinstock. Rolled back for the Blue Wave, but the Tigers will take it. They move from right to left. Rebecca Silver. Silver sent through the circle and just a hair wide.
Almost had a chance for a tip in there.
Yeah.
Just out of the reach, though.
1-0, Darien on top. 7 minutes gone second half as Tropsa scored at 3:37. From the near side it comes in. From the long corner. Spun back around. Blue Wave had it, but it's going to go Tiger way. They're moving from right to left. Weinstock just lets it roll along the sideline. Got knocked just out, so the Blue Wave will take it. Past a couple of sticks it goes, and the Blue Wave moving from left to right. They have the 1-0 lead. As this rolls down, trying to preserve it, but it went just out of bounds. Kat Culleton really thought that she had kept it in, but we could see from up here it was out. So brought back in by Sarah Wilson, the senior. Wilson to Weinstock. Sent down the near side. Kelly Fippen, who almost had that tip in, she had it for a moment. She's a junior.
Just couldn't get it to sit down on the stick enough there.
8 and change gone second half in a 1-0 game. Push down through. Here is Fippen, and the kick save. Stretching out to do so was Kaylee Morrill, the 5'9 senior.
Just got a foot on that one.
Yep.
Well struck shot there for sure.
From the long corner, it's Rebecca Silver. Tangled up with Kendall Wazinski. So they'll dribble it to the near side. Back to grab it goes Silver. It's a 1-0 game. 9 minutes gone, second half. Soccer tomorrow from Stamford. Football on Friday featuring Stamford, the Black Knights and the Danbury Hatters at Crotty Stadium in Danbury. admit why I enjoy games in Ridgefield. It's a shorter commute for me. Back out near midfield.
Worried when I started seeing the signs for New York. Did I go too far?
No, you're not too far at all. You're in the right place, but the truth of the matter is, I mentioned Route 116 in the first half, North Salem Road. When you come out of Ridgefield High School and make a right, you go around a bend, then another bend, and you are in the Empire State. It is no more than about a mile away from Ridgefield High School. Far side and out of bounds. 1-0 our score. Darien on top. 10 and change gone in the second half. On what is turning into a chillier Monday afternoon, as expected. As the sun disappears, of course. We saw temperatures in the 60s today. And we will dangle the carrot of possibly the 70s as Elders collides with a Tiger. That was Rebecca Silver.
Yeah, a bit of contact there. Sticks flying.
There are levels of field hockey where tackling is legal. Obviously, girls play in high school in Connecticut. It's not legal, as it gets chipped well wide of the net. Over to the near side and played back in by the Blue Wave, Olivia Hoyda. Through traffic, it got to Marissa Baker. A second goal here for the Blue Wave would be deadly for the Tigers.
Yeah, you would think that that might be too big of a hill to climb there.
We're coming up on the 11.5-minute mark in the second half.
Oh, they do say the 2-goal lead is the most auspicious one.
Off the penalty corner. Played just in the circle. A one-timer that's batted down. As Kaiser climbed the ladder to knock it away.
Again, Kaiser coming through to keep the team in the game there.
Rolled ahead to Cassidy. Georgia Cassidy got around Rebecca Silver on a nice move, but it comes back to the near side. And the whistle will send it the other way. 17:40 to go, second half. Right now, Tropsa's goal, right near the 3.5-minute mark of the second half, is the difference in the game. Ridgefield High School, a bevy of activity on this Monday afternoon. You might be able to even spy or just get a little taste of some music down below. Some of the football locker rooms and various locker rooms below here, the media facility at Tiger Hollow. It was very nice. The PA announcer before the game gave a greeting to us. Asked the crowd to give us a warm welcome. And certainly you can find the rebroadcast on demand. HAN on demand. You can find it online. HAN.network. 16:43 to go second half. Of course, we have a YouTube channel as well, so you can find us on there. And this and so much more brought to you by Walter Stewart's Market, Carl Chevrolet, Coastal Orthopedic, Pamby Motors, and our newest sponsor, Bankwell. Rolled down near the circle. Tigers looking to take it. That was Sarah Wilson. Katie Elders will go try to grab it, but it'll roll out into that far corner. Clock running down to 16:09, second half. It'll be Tiger ball, and they'll set things back up. And there's that blast of Natalie Silver that we've talked about a couple of times.
Yeah, she really winds it up there.
This is lifted down to midfield.
In ice hockey, she'd be the one you'd want covering the point on the power play.
Yeah, seriously. Over to the near side, stick in hand, grabbed. And that was played by Hoyda, the senior for the Blue Wave. Now she'll set it back up. Comes just off the football field lines. Played it ahead to Marissa Baker. Seeing Baker more so in the second half. Not to say she wasn't out there in the first half. She just seems more apparent and in on the play.
Yeah, we're definitely calling her name a lot more in the second half.
Hoyda again. Went to chip it down. Instead played back to the near side. Reset by Abigail Hancock. Then the junior got it to Baker, who chipped it right on through. Lifted by Katie Elders down near the corner. And it'll be grabbed back by Ridgefield. 14.5 to go. One-nothing Darien. As the Blue Wave try to stay undefeated. This pops all the way down into the Ridgefield zone, well off to the left, or rather into the Darien zone, well off to the left side of Kaylee Marl.
The time continues to salt off of the clock.
Keep an eye on the football schedule. We'll have a few adjustments coming up pretty soon.
Flex games?
Flexing a little bit. Including very possibly a return to this very facility. There was Marissa Baker. Hoyda, back to Baker, outside the circle, sent it through, bouncing through traffic, tipped around, dangerous out in front, and it'll go off to the side of the net.
Good chance for the Blue Wave there.
And we have another idea going into, I believe it is November. I don't want to tip my hand too much, but I believe in early November, there could be a chance for, dare we say, audience participation. Rolled along that far side, Katie Elders for Darien. Gets down into the shooting circle. And Elders will watch it roll out. It's Elders and Tropsa actually over there. Tropsa wearing 23, Elders wearing 22. As this bounces through, and the Tigers will take it back with Rebecca Silver. Heads right over, and a kick save made by Mo Minikis. Played right back to midfield. And resetting will be the Tigers. They need a goal, 12 minutes to go, Mike.
Definitely. And to get that goal, they're going to start needing to get a little more possession here than they've had in the second half.
Maybe amp up the aggression a little bit. Of course, that's a dangerous play because it can result in goals on your end of the pitch, but still.
Yeah, with, just under 12 left, you don't want to leave yourself too susceptible to a counterattack. But you want to do as much as you can to, amp up the pressure on the Blue Wave.
Timeout on the field with 11:41 to go. Second half, 1-0 our score. We'll take a timeout from Ridgefield as field hockey continues here with Darien leading Ridgefield 1-0. You're watching the FCAC on the HAN Network.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
.11:41 to go, second half. 1-0. Darien leading Ridgefield in field hockey here on the HAN Network. Happy to have you along. With Mike Suppy, AJ Simonowski directing our entire crew here, I'm Rob Adams. Teams return to the field off the timeout. And we have 11:41 to play. Katie Petersy will bring it in from the near side. Rolls it through as the Tigers in need of a goal with 11.5 to go, but the Blue Waves start back. From left to right they go. Got back out near midfield, so it'll be Darien ball as it bounces away from Marissa Baker. So it'll be Kimmy Weinstock to go grab it. Weinstock's got a good swing there too.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't get shortchanged on those chops there.
Again, these are athletes I want to see play golf. Rolled right along the near side on the hash marks. Taken ahead by Tropsa. Tropsa has the goal in this game. Just 3.5 into the second half.
It certainly seems like it's a transferable skill, you know, with like wrestling and football and you know, field hockey and golf. You can see that.
I could see it. And in field hockey, you know, you're not stopping and setting your shot as you obviously are in golf, unless you're, you know, Happy Gilmore. Chipped over near side. Sent through traffic in the circle, coming from Baker. And now it'll come back over. So Darien will reset with 10:24 to go in the second half. Olivia Hoyda will bring it in. Dances around the defender. Outside the football numbers, sends it in. Through traffic it goes. Chipped back along. Again through traffic, spinning around. And the whistle will turn it over. 9:59 to go, second half.
You know, if you're Darien here, you just have to keep control, play keep away.
As we said a little earlier, I can't help but feel like Ridgefield might have to get a little more aggressive.
Yeah, they're going to need to obviously get one here to get something out of this, but
that's why Colleen Cannon's got the coach's whistle, and I stand up here talking about it. Blue Wave have got it. Just inside the circle they go. Again, bounced around. It goes off to the side of Ellie Kaiser's net. To her right. In a 1-0 game. Darien on top with 9 minutes to play in the second half. Played back to midfield. Scooting over to the near side. Worked ahead by Abigail Hancock. Marissa Baker has number 1 on. Sends it back to Hancock.
The Wave just rolling it back and forth here.
Oh, Wave rolling. I got that one.
I didn't even mean to do that.
I know.
Impressed myself.
That's what made it so good. 8.5 to go.
Just a deluge of puns here.
Right along the football hash marks with 8:20 to go. Darien will reset it. Nice nearly 30-yard lift coming from midfield.
Just had to call for a fair catch on that one.
I know. Played by the Blue Wave. Credit where credit's due. That was Megan Waldron with the 30-yard lift. Don't forget Nutmeg Sports, Monday through Wednesday at 2 here on the HAN Network. In fact, we featured the Ridgefield field hockey team on today's show and began setting up for tomorrow's soccer game as well. Donald Eng and I. Mike's not on it enough, but we try to rectify that whenever he's around.
Yeah, Tuesdays or Wednesdays are tough for me with deadlines, but
Absolutely.
I try to pop on there when I can, when I have something good to add.
You always get something good to add. Laura Schwartzman. Off to the far side it goes. Margot Racy taking a tumble there with 6:58 to go and a 1-0 Ridgefield lead. I beg your pardon, and a 1-0 Darien lead. Ridgefield wishes I was correct about that score. Penalty corner coming here for the Blue Wave, however. Into the circle it goes. A little pooch down. Out to play it was Kaiser. And bounces in.
Looked like it was a deflection there.
And that's the second goal that we were talking about, Mike, and that's a dagger with 6.5 to go.
Yeah, you got to think Darien's going to probably hold on to win this one now and stay unbeaten.
As AJ looks it all over for us, something tells me he's going to turn around and indicate to me a number that I will then put into my book.
Or so we hope.
And if you saw 27, that's concerning.
Couldn't tell.
All right, we'll get it worked out. 6:14 to go in a 2-0 game. .55 to go, clock running, second half. Oh, good. Yeah. All right. Ball loose, they look for more, and this goes off to the side. We're trying to get the bookkeeping all resolved here. If not, we'll try to get it resolved before we say goodbye. 5:14 to go, 2-0. Bring you back up, Mike. There you go.
It looked to me like Tropso got it on the deflection, but I could be wrong again. It's looking through a viewfinder. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, exactly. 5 minutes to go. Ridgefield in desperate straits now with 4:40 to play. Weinstock will set things up. Sent it right through traffic. It bounced around. Laura Schwartzman there, able to work it ahead. Fighting for it to the far side goes Tropsa. Four minutes to play. And the whistle will turn into a penalty corner for the Blue Wave. Clock running, 3:50 to go. Obviously not on the side of the Ridgefield Tigers at this point.
Blue Wave just taking their time here.
Obviously with no need to rush and a 2-0 lead. As it's brought in, it bounced around, got away. Set up near side for Baker. Now it bounces around. Mike doing double duty, mashing his head off the camera, or at least the microphone.
Yeah, that was a collision there.
3:05 to go in a 2-0 Darien lead.
Problem is, if I stand an appropriate distance away from the camera, I won't be able to see anything.
Good point. Baker. Now the Tigers able to punch that back out. But plenty of Blue Wave waiting. Waldron there. Sends it left. And the Blue Wave looking like they will remain perfect with 2:41 to go. Off to the far side, played along those football numbers. Tropsa playing keep away, and with good reason. A spirited game for the Tigers. They just could not get anything on the vaunted defense of Darien.
Yeah, they have nothing to hang their heads about here. I mean, it was a valiant effort. They just couldn't generate enough offense to keep the pressure on the Blue Wave once they've, built that 1-0 lead.
Weinstock and Claire Watzik playing catch, but 1:49 to go.
And if you're Ridgefield, you know you can play with the top teams in the league here.
Blasted ahead by Rebecca Silver, but snagged by Abigail Hancock with 1.5 to play. Baker near side, lost it, grabs it, sends it, rolls it ahead. Schwartzman had it chipped away from her, brought over to the near side again. Played by Baker. Marissa Baker right through traffic. A lot of Tigers waiting there with 1:16 to play. Bouncing through off to the near side. 1 minute to go. Baker will take it for the Blue Wave. This one all but academic as it does bounce down. Kicked aside by Kaiser. Two 2-0 our score. 40 seconds remaining. Certainly no disrespect to Kaylee Marl. She was good as usual, but just outstanding defense by Darien.
Yeah, they supported her very well out in front of the cage. But, she was there when she was called upon to make a couple of saves that she was needed to make.
And at the same time, big respect to Ellie Kaiser, who played very well in net for Ridgefield.
Yeah, she was impressive for sure.
This is loose down in front, with Baker able to put the wrap on it.
Well, we saw who got that one.
We did. Marissa Baker with 7.7 remaining. And this one all but over now. 3-0.
I'm going to go ahead and write that one in ink.
Yeah, that one I'm comfortable with. And we're down to 4 as this one comes to an end, and the Darien Blue Wave get a 3-0 victory.
A game that was much closer than the eventual final score would probably indicate to the casual observer.
A nice round of applause from the fans here at Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow. As this game comes to an end, for Ridgefield, they go out and console one another. And again, look, Mike, you and I are both, I think, fairly astute sports guys. We know there's no such thing as moral victories and all that jazz, but certainly for the Tigers, they can say to themselves, we can hang in there. We just have to find a way to get through the defense of this Blue Wave team.
Certainly, you know, if they cashed in maybe one of those handful of chances they had, it's a different game. But when you're challenging the top team in the league, you need to take advantage of those kinds of things and, you know, pounce on every mistake. And they might not have necessarily done that today, but if they face each other again in the future, it's something that they could, you know, point to.
At the same time, you know, no one has beaten Darien yet. They're clearly among the cream of the crop in the FCAC, and you know, you certainly take your hat off to the Blue Wave. And, you know, again, if you're the Tigers, you're hanging in there with them. But Darien improves to 8-0 on the year, and they're just so good at this point. Ridgefield does drop to 3-5, but boy, what I saw today was not a 3-5 field hockey team.
No, certainly not. And, you know, they're going to win some games here coming down towards the midway point of the season. They played much better than their record would indicate today.
Mike and I will come back and wrap this one up, but it's in the books. The final score, the Darien Blue Wave 3, the Ridgefield Tigers 0. We come back to Tiger Hollow to wrap it up right after this. You're watching field hockey. It's the FCAC on the HAN network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Back in Ridgefield with Mike Suppy and our crew, I'm Rob Adams. Final score, Darien knocks off Ridgefield 3-0. And Mike, I don't think there's a whole lot more to say. Just we know the class of the FCAC now. We know Ridgefield is good enough to hang in there, but somebody's got to find a way to score on this Darien Blue Wave team.
Yeah, and that's easier said than done. I mean, you look at the record, you look at their scoring differential. They're a team that's, you know, deservedly unbeaten at this point in the season, and it's up to the rest of the teams in the league to solve that problem.
And it is a problem for anybody trying to play the Blue Wave. Again, they just stay so good. We have unofficially determined that Tropsa scored both of the first 2 goals on the day, with Marissa Baker getting the third one. But certainly check the story on it online when it is posted, because you know, it's hard to see, and I go through that even in ice hockey as well. There's often a scrum after a goal, and until you're able to check the book, which is easier said than done, the book kept all the way over on the opposite side of the field from here. But Tim Murphy will have a story for us online.
Yeah, so definitely check out what he's got to say about the story, and then you'll find out for certain who got that second goal.
Absolutely true. But, you know, as we look at just how the Blue Wave have played this year, you know, you see that they beat Danbury 5-0, Ludlow 5-1, then shutouts of 4-0 against Greenwich, 4-0 against New Canaan, that was here on HAN, a 9-0 shutout of West Hill, Norwalk 4-2, Wilton 2-0, now Ridgefield 3-0. You're getting my point here, aren't you? 3 goals allowed, and they're all the way to 8-0.
Yeah, when you're conceding that few amount of goals and scoring as many as they've shown they're capable of scoring, that's a good recipe for success.
So as we wrap things up from here at Tiger Hollow, we remind you to start your day tomorrow with Coffee Break. It begins at 11 o'clock. and we look forward to that. We've got The Drive with Denise DiGrigoli coming your way as well at 12:30. Boys soccer is at 4 o'clock tomorrow from Stamford as the Black Knights host the Greenwich Cardinals, and that'll move us right on through the balance of the week. Football on Friday as the Black Knights go to play at Danbury High School. Final thought?
Darien is very good.
I think that pretty much sums it up right there. Our thanks to Tracy Iazzi, Josh Fisher, Tim Murphy, Eric Gendron, and, of course, the guys up here in the booth with me as well. And that'll do it from Ridgefield High School. Once again, the final score, the Darien Blue Wave 3 and the Ridgefield Tigers nothing. For the Blue Wave, they improved to 8-0 on the year. The Tigers dropped to 3-5. We invite you to start your day tomorrow with Coffee Break, 11 o'clock. Kate Chaplinsky has all the news and everything you need to know to get your day started. For our entire crew here at Ridgefield High School's Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow, our director, A.J. Simonowski, and my partner, Mike Suppy, I'm Rob Adams. Enjoy your evening, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Soccer tomorrow from Stamford. Football on Friday from Danbury. But for now, the Darien Blue Wave beat the Ridgefield Tigers 3-0. So long from Ridgefield.
The preceding has been a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and entertainment in Fairfield and Westchester counties.